And we're back. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy New Year.
Welcome back to Men on Bourbon. My name is Cam.
I'm
Back
Philip.
with my man Phil here. And since it's a new year, it will be only fitting that we start the new year off with New Riff, which is a new bourbon. And they come out of no particular wheelhouse. They're their own brand, branded by themselves, for themselves. Kind of like a rebel, I guess you could say, in the bourbon industry. You really can't, I mean, there's nothing for me to really go on. Like I said, they're a 4-year bourbon. They really don't have a history. They're very, very new. And we've come here this evening just to give shed a little light on New Riff and let you know a little something about them.
They actually, the water they use is from an aquifer. I guess right under their plant, I guess.
Well, true. I mean, anything coming out of Kentucky, they got that limestone. So that's what gives that bourbon that taste, that bourbon that we look for, that particular bite that we look for, that limestone that the water flows over. Yep. But again, as I said, that we want to call these people like the rebels of the new bourbon.
2014, right?
Yeah. And also, not only that, they're a bottled and bond bourbon. Their original bourbon is a bottled and bond bourbon. Most bourbons that come out, they're very young. They don't come out at 100 proof. This one, they come out the gate starting off at 100 proof, which is very rare for a bourbon to do such a thing like that. And their mash bill is 65% corn, 35% rye, and 5% malted barley. So that lets you know that this is very, very strong, has a bite, a lot of grit to it. Again, like I said, most bourbons don't come out the gate like that, so that's letting you know that these folks is about their business. I mean, they really like their bourbons.
What about the copper? I was reading that they use copper distilled. So.
Copper, well, most bourbons use copper distilled to do their bourbons with. I'm reading here that they follow the traditions of most Kentucky bourbons. Right. They use the new tradition. They use a freshly charred American oak barrel, and a one and done. But the only thing about theirs is they only age there for 4 years. That's what makes them so different. So I don't know if they're like rapidly aging their bourbon, because like I said, we have a bottled and bond, we have a rye, and then we also have a single barrel.
Explain the single barrel really quick, just so they understand kind of.
Well, the single barrel is where they hand select one barrel, and it all comes out of one barrel. And that's another fact. New Riff, they use no chill filtering in their distillery. So I guess they just run it straight through the grape.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I mean, straight through the grape. Excuse my terminology, but basically that's what that means. They don't take it and chill it and then run it through a machine. They take it straight through a grape, straight to the bottle. But now, with a single barrel, they hand select one barrel, and that's what you get out of that barrel. Just like you would do when you get a barrel pick.
Right.
Same scenario, same thing. Okay. So, without further ado, let's go and get off into this bottle. Gosh, go ahead, butcher. Go ahead, butcher. Do your thing. Now, let's see here. Is there any other thing that I can tell you about this New Riff bourbon here? It is a full sour mash bill. Oh, and also also,
A
yes.
little tap it real quick.
There you go, sir. Yes. Now, New Riff Bourbon, they also pride themselves on strong on the rye. So apparently that's why, you're getting that bite, that grit. Most bourbons, they're full of corn. They use a lot of corn. They use a lot of rye.
Okay.
Like I said, it's 30% rye. Most bourbons don't use that much rye. When they use that, it's mainly a rye bourbon.
Right.
Correct. I mean, they're predominantly mash bill is 30% rye. So you're going to get a lot of grit.
And that may be why you said they're kind of rebels at what they do. I mean, that's really different from industry standards. So,
Correct.
now we'll see if it translates into a good sipping whiskey, but we'll see here in a second.
Now, as you notice, I have one already on the rocks, in which this is the single barrel. The single barrel comes at a very, very high proof, so I'm letting that chill for a little bit, letting that get a little water to it. But we're gonna try it neat as well. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe that comes in well over 110 proof. What you getting on the nose there, fella?
Not a whole lot.
No? Not getting nothing on the nose?
Not a whole lot right now.
Well, I'm getting walnut. Definitely getting that, but it's ginger to me. But that's that rye, and I know that's what it is.
I can see some of the walnut in it.
Ginger, cinnamon, real strong spice. And again, like I said, that comes from that 30% rye mash bill that they have in there. Not sweet. Most bourbons that we on the nose is very sweet. This isn't sweet at all. It's letting you know that you're about to get something very robust on the nose.
I think my smell profile has been diluted a little bit by the ice I put in there, I think.
Well, that of course as well.
And also explain that you need to, when smelling it, you should smell it with your mouth open.
Oh yes, you definitely need to have your mouth open a little bit, because you're not going to get all the nuances that you would if you have your mouth closed. So let's go on for a sip, see what we get.
Well, it finishes well. Doesn't have a lot of bite in the finish. I'm not getting that burn that you get from.
Not getting a burn at all.
I'm not getting the burn.
It's real smooth.
It's very smooth.
Very smooth. Very, very smooth.
It's smoother than I thought it would be.
And what I can concur with that. Like I said, from the nose, I was thinking I was going to get more of a type of drink, but no, this is very smooth. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Smooth. You definitely get some of the nuances from the char barrel.
Little water.
Yeah.
Little water. It's not thick. It's not thick at all.
Doesn't have. It has some legs on it though. A little bit.
A little bit, yeah, but it's not sticking like most bourbon.
No, it's not.
It's a little water, but then that might be why it's so smooth.
Might maybe so. So on first taste, I say that I'm not gonna say they're doing a bad job with 30% on the mash bill, that being rye. But I'm not getting a whole lot of flavor.
Like I say, on the taste, I'm getting that walnut. I'm getting a lot of woodsy. It's very woodsy.
That's what I was saying about the char barrel. You can definitely tell it's
woodsy.
It's got a lot of woods.
But on the finish, it's very smooth. Very smooth. I mean, it relaxes well on the palate, and it's not bad. It's not bad. It's
not bad, but it's not very eventful.
No, there's not like, it's not going to say this is something you just going to say, oh, you need to bring, I'll get this. No, I'm not going to say that.
Scale of 1 to 5?
Scale of 1 to 5, I would say a good 2.5. Good 2.5.
I would have to say, what's the price point on this?
And that's where I was going next. The price point on this, I believe, is $40.
Okay.
Now, there's a bunch of $40 bourbons out here that we can get way better, and we know this.
Right. And so that's why I would have to place this at about a strong 2.
Ooh.
Just because you got to keep in mind, you give it, 2.5.
I'm saying 2.5 because of the taste.
I would give it a 2.5 because of the finish. You can sip on this for a while and be all right. But I still,
now, that's a little harsh, but 2.5, understood. Okay, and I'm saying maybe the price point is throwing you off a little bit.
But you look at the Buffalo Trace.
What? $28?
You know what I'm saying?
Understood. I get it.
That's just...
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to say right here, this traditional, the one first coming out the gate, new riff, bottled and bond, at 100 proof, $40 a bottle. We rate this at about a 2.5.
2.5, on a scale of 1 to 5. But keep in mind, though, really quickly, now this distillery, they did come into existence in 2014.
Correct. They're very new.
They're very new.
They're new.
And for their first offering to the community, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
I'm like I said, it's a bunch of bourbons out there that taste worse and have been out longer.
I would drink it again.
Most definitely would drink it. That's my second bottle. You see, we just popped that one, so yeah, most definitely. But I drink it again. It's drinkable.
It's drinkable.
Would you compare that to, like, in class?
You can't compare this to anything.
Or if you had a choice of...
For the finish that I'm getting, not a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm not going to compare that to for a bourbon. I'm not going to compare this really to, because again, like I said, they use that non-chill, they don't chill filter there. So it's not, you can't. Their filtering is totally different. Again, like I said, they some rebels, so I haven't been able to really diagnose this bourbon like you really want to, like any other bourbon, because they do.
Yeah, now I'll tell you one thing you probably could do with this, which we don't do a lot of it, is different cocktails. I saw that you probably could do that. We don't do cocktails. But if you were looking for a nice bourbon to do a cocktail with, probably could do it with this.
Yeah, maybe a Manhattan.
Yeah, something like that. Something girly. Because this is kind of a girly bourbon. I'm sorry. No disrespect to the Riff family.
We can edit that out if you want to.
No. It's a little girly.
No.
Is that a good?
No. I get what you it's a little watered down. You know what I'm saying? So I get what my man said. It's a little watered. Like I said, man,
Not saying anything wrong with the girls.
No, not at all. So no, if
the girls on
what my man is saying, if you have a female friend though, and she's into bourbon, maybe have her try something like that. This is not for a person that's into a real bourbon.
The only thing this bourbon is really missing is training wheels. If we just had 2 little wheels on the side of it, you'd probably be all right. Anyway, I digress.
This is why you tuned in to Man on Bourbon.
Training wheels.
Not only do you get a lesson, but you get a few shits and giggles as well. Now, we're going to move on.
Let's move on.
No, we got to finish this here. So this might be where you might want to edit a little bit until we move on to it. We can't rush bourbon. You can't. Viewers, you do not shoot bourbon.
You don't.
If anyone you hang with or hang out with or go out drinking with, if they intrigue you or entice you to do shots of bourbon, they're wrong. You sip bourbon. You do not shoot it. Message. Fade back off into black. Check this out. And we're back. All right.
Quickly, I just want to highlight what my man is smoking. He is smoking an Oliva V Lancero. Which, just on the cigar side, I will say that people are getting back into smoking Lanceros. The meter had kind of went to the larger gauge cigars for a minute. The 6x60 ring gauge, 6x54, 7x70, 8x80. But
the jawbreaker that you got now.
But the original Cubanesque type cigar was actually more of a Lancero.
From Fidel Castro.
That size right there. Which, when it comes to a cigar, it actually has, it provides a little more complexity and more flavor to me. It still smokes pretty much as long as a 6x60 would. But it's just, you get the truer taste of what the cigar is supposed to be. When a master blender blends something, if you smoke that Oliva V Lancero, and then you buy an Oliva V, say Bellicoso, which has a larger ring gauge, it has a good flavor to it, but it's better in a Lancero. That gives you more of the original presentation that the master blender wanted. That's what you get with the Lancero. Any cigar in a Lancero that size, doesn't matter what it is. It can be a Superfly, it can be a Monte Cristo.
Question.
Yes.
Is it more with the Lancero, are you smoking more leaf than binder or filler, or are you smoking more binder and filler towards leaf?
Well, you got to look at it this way. If you look at the filler, automatically it's not as much filler as we're being 6x60. That's everything. Well, it's more. It's not really more leaf because
I'm talking about wrapper. I mean.
Well, yeah, the wrapper. But if you think about it, it's still pretty much the same. The wrapper on that is not too much more than wrapper on a 6x6 for real because it's longer. See what I'm saying? So it's not really that. It's just the way that the three components of that cigar. You got the filler, the binder, and the wrapper. But the master blender, see, all three of those are different. They're not the same. The filler is different, the binder is different, the leaf is different. The leaf is probably Ecuadorian, I believe, on that. But what happens is the presentation of it, at that point, you're not losing anything because you have too much filler. If you have a 6x60, you just got a whole bunch of filler in there. And it's not the breakup that he really wants as a master blender. A master blender, you have your leaf, your filler, and your binder. It's all put together for a presentation. And what you get with the Lancero is a more true presentation of what that particular blend should be.
Again, this is a learning show. Dr. Phil over here.
No.
So, keep that in there, y'all. I like that.
Underdeveloped. I'm sorry.
I love your cap.
All right.
I can't stand it. All right, now.
Okay.
Let's give us a little taste of this here. And see what we got going on. Excuse me.
There you go, bro.
All right.
Got that all up.
Now.
Ooh.
Like I said, we're going to flip it.
You can definitely.
We're going to flip it.
On the smell profile, you can definitely tell that this is going to be stronger just because when you smell a stronger whiskey,
wow.
you can feel it.
Look at that. Look at the legs. See? Yeah.
Can you turn it?
Look.
Okay.
Look at that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's still watery though. Still.
Smell it. Smell it. Almost makes your eyes water just a touch.
This is a bourbon. But you know what? I'm going to take that back. Ryes are not bourbons, ladies and gentlemen.
They're rye.
They are put into the bourbon category. Ryes are whiskeys. Because once you get away from anything over, if you go under 51% corn, it's not a bourbon. So by this being 65% rye, this makes it a whiskey. But it goes into the bourbon family.
And it smells like a whiskey. It smells like a whiskey. The first one, not so much. This one, yes.
But I can't wait to taste it.
Well, let's just get to it. Let's just see. I get a hint of caramel.
You got some heat. I'm gonna tell you that. Now, I'm tasting ginger. I'm getting oak.
Definitely oak.
Peppermint.
On the back of the tongue, maybe? On the back of the tongue. You might have a minute.
That ginger. You don't get that ginger? Or is it just my palate? And I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in a good way. This is good.
It does have a hint.
This is good.
Well, I get a hint of ginger and peppermint on the back of the tongue. You know, after you get it. The finish still isn't bad. It doesn't burn. Just, you know, when you can't take it. But
for a rye, this is good. And
it goes
I'm
really good with
picky.
cigar.
I'm very picky. You know, I ain't hit it with a stick.
It's a good ride. I would purchase this before the first option that we had.
Most definitely.
This is light years
I
better.
concur.
This is light years better than the original that they brought out initially.
Oh wow! This is delicious. And I said once you smell it, I mean this.
Yeah,
oh
you can
God,
tell by the smell. And it has great complexity. Like I got caramel out of it, but at the same time I still get peppermint on the back of the tongue and a little bit of the ginger as
Oh,
well.
this is fucking awesome.
This is good.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Excuse my language. I like this a lot. This is awesome.
This is a gentleman's drink. Yeah,
Like
I
you
would
said,
recommend
with the
this.
stick,
I would recommend this. Now,
pairing, we're not doing any pairing. Now,
No,
we
we
can't
just-
say with the pairing, but I'm just saying it goes great with my stick, you know. With the smoke in my mouth and
I think I might want to do a witch's brew
I was about to
just to see.
man, that's why me and you.
I think I might
Come on,
want to do a
man, come
witch's
on.
brew. I just something tells me I might have something special in my glass if I do a little bit of witchery.
This is what you call a witch's brew. I see I can sit there and I can put my drink down, the smoke and sit and chill in my glass,
Witch's brew.
let it chill for a minute.
And when you do this,
Now,
you
the
put
smoke
two
is
of them.
sticking to the liquor.
Yes, and then when you drink it, you get a very good presentation of the liquor and the cigar at the same time. And if you have a good cigar that pairs well with it, they should complement each other really, really nicely. Change the whole complexity of it.
Of the drink and the cigar.
Yeah. Now, of course, his is brewing a little bit better because of the shape of his glass. This is a complete open top, has no, flute to it like that one. But he should really, really get a good drink off of that, I would imagine. Very good.
Delicious.
Delicious.
So I got the liquor and the smoke at the same time. They coincide with each other, giving you a winning team.
And a lot of
Stick with
times
this channel, ladies and
a lot of times
gentlemen.
you'll go to bars, and it's not uncommon to see them set it on fire or smoke it
Or put a
whatever.
dome over
Put a
it,
dome over it
full of
because
smoke.
yeah, because all of it you got to keep in mind it's aged in barrels that are charred. So all of that makes sense when you add the smoke to it. It just brings out some of the char and some of that from the way it was already aged. A lot of times the cigar it just goes right with it. That's why cigars and bourbon go so well together because you got to look at what a bourbon is. It's aged
And charred.
and charred.
Yeah.
There. So, a little bit of extra smoke with it, especially from a premium cigar, you got magic. Let me see. Yeah. So when it comes to ryes, where will we put this 1 to 5?
The rye whiskey,
The rye whiskey. Where you put this?
I'm going to give this a 3.5.
I was gonna say a 3.5.
A 3.5.
Yeah. This is good. I think I still like the Basil Hayden rye, maybe a little bit more.
This is nice. This is nice. I don't have anything bad to say about this at all. And at a price point at $40, run and go get you a bottle. I mean, you need to have that bottle on you. You need to have this on your bar.
That's good.
If you don't have, especially if you're a rye drinker,
That's good.
you need to have this on your bar. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. You need to have this on your bar yesterday.
It's almost like what they did with the first one being that they used more rye. It's almost like they were trying to figure it out, but they didn't quite have it.
Henceforth, them being the rebels that they are.
Right. But they did that one correct.
Oh my God, they knocked it out of the park. They knocked it out of the park. Got, like I say, nothing bad, and I'm very picky.
Nice complexity.
The riff, y'all did y'all thing with that one.
Good job.
Awesome job. Awesome. All right. Gonna let my man settle off and finish off of that one, and then we're gonna get off into our next bottle, which is the single barrel.
Guaranteed to be strong.
And oh my God. And if I'm not mistaken at this, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of homework, but I think this might be a barrel pick. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're on to our third installment of New Riff, which would be the New Riff single barrel. Now there's single barrel here. Again, as I say, I believe that I'm going to say I believe, I don't want to steer you wrong, but I believe that they picked one barrel out of their warehouse and they chose the one barrel to put into one bottle. Now, they may have, before the one barrel, they may have married 3 to 4 barrels and put them into one barrel and aged it for 4 years and put into one bottle. So now there's a bunch of scenarios going on here. But we do know that however the scenario, it's only aged for 4 years coming out of New Riff. Is that fair to say?
I would say so. We just don't know if it's a barrel pick.
Correct. Well, not a barrel pick, but as far as the single barrel, we don't know the process. We don't, like I said, we don't know if they married and put into one barrel, or was it just one mash bill?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Gotcha.
So, boom. Just going to go for a taste here. Now, like, I've had one chilling in ice for a minute, but we still going to try one neat. Feel? Now, off the bat, you can notice the color difference.
Yes, much that.
Off the bat, the color difference is totally different. I mean, very, very dark. Very dark. And that being a bourbon drinker, you want to see a dark color in your bourbon. That you want to see. I'm looking at the legs now. My man Phil is nosing.
Nosing around.
Oh, wow. This boy catching the glass and everything. I hate that my glass is so dirty. I apologize about that, dude.
If you smell it, I get it here, and even though it's not a sherry cask, it's got a lot of the notes of the shit. You smell that?
I'm getting that honey. It's sweet. Now this is sweet. We haven't knows anything sweet out of the 3.
Nah. Yeah, has a sweetness to it.
This is very sweet. And I'm impressed by this nose. I'm getting, like you said, sweet. I'm getting, I wouldn't say sherry.
Well,
I'm cherries maybe.
okay, maybe that's better. It does have a cherry kind of.
Cherry.
Maybe that's why I got kind of twisted with it. But you get that. It's
That
rich.
vanilla.
It's rich on the smell profile. I got the vanilla. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on in.
Go ahead. Getting some type of graham cracker too.
It's got more of a bite than either of the other two. It has more of a bite. It does burn going down a little bit. Not unbearable. It has a little burn to it.
Oh wow, yeah.
Has a little burn
It
to it.
does now. What Philip is referring to, as far as the burn, because this bottle comes in at 113.6 proof, so it's 56.8. So yes, we're gonna get a little kick in the pants.
You got a little kick.
You're gonna get a little kick in the pants with this. Yes, 56.8% alcohol. Yes, yes, you're gonna get a little kick. You're gonna get that, but you know what? It's not bad at all. Because I mean, you get a little burn, but it's not that Kentucky hug. You know what I'm saying? You're getting that on the finish. You're getting the burn.
You know what I'm getting from this? I'm getting the fact that they are a new distillery and they still got some work to do. They got some work to do. Just on they got to figure out what their core product is going to be and perfect. This is good, but it's not a blandness. I mean, I know.
You are just so privy to black.
No, it's not. It's totally. It's good, but it's not complete. It's good, but it's not for this to be a single barrel.
I say it's just not a full course meal.
It's not.
Okay, I get you. I get you.
But
I get where you're going.
You know what I'm saying?
My thing is this. See how
That's the best way I can put it. It's good.
it is a little water. But this has a little more body than this one, the first.
They're not even comparable to me.
This has more body than the first. The rye was the best of the three. Do you concur?
I would say so. I think that one had more complexity, more than this single
Correct.
barrel.
Yeah, it had more flavor.
It changed up more.
Correct.
This is just strong.
Transition.
It had great transition. This is just what you would think about when you're drinking a bourbon. It's got the heat.
Especially when we was single barrel, we looking for the heat. We
got the
definitely,
heat.
but we want
It's
flavor.
got that.
We want
And-
that.
and
we
it
looking
doesn't
for-
have a lot of it.
We're looking for maple. We're looking for syrup. We're looking for shit. Give me some bacon. Give me something.
They don't have a lot of it. It does, but you know what? Still, all in all, for a distillery that's roughly 6 years
Very new.
old, 6 years old, they did a great job.
Very new.
I'm not upset with it at all. The only one I would buy personally is the rye, I think. But hey, this is a good change up.
Again, like I said, it's a new year, new riff. But now, on a scale of 1 to 5,
A scale of 1 to 5. I'm gonna do, just to be fair, I'm gonna give it a 3.
on the single barrel.
On this, I'm gonna give it a 3.
That's a fair assumption.
However, this is one caveat to that. The only caveat to it is that it's a 3 when it comes to a bourbon, but it may not be a 3 when you compare it to other single barrels.
But now, you know what? With that note, Evan Williams single barrel, loaded solid wood.
Okay. So therefore,
And now this is a $50 bottle. If that makes a difference, ladies and gentlemen. The single barrel of this. So we're looking at a $10 differential. 50, 40.
so I take it back,
Now,
Cam.
again, what I was going to say, you got Evan Williams single barrel, which is only $32, and it's fantabulous. Now, we ain't gonna never sit here and just tell you just because the bottle is more expensive that it's better. We're never gonna do that. There's a bunch of single barrels out here that's phenomenal.
And to piggyback on that, I'd have to say this. In terms of just a straight bourbon, if this was not a single barrel, it would be a 3. But because they are touting this as a single barrel, I gotta bump it down to a 2.5 on a single barrel. On a bourbon, I give it 3. But if you want to put
That
this
hurt a little bit. Hey,
if
New
you
Rip,
want to put this,
I'm not gonna do y'all like that.
I'm saying if you're gonna put this in the realm of single barrel, can you give this a clean 3?
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
I am. I mean, because you also have. Excuse me, you also have to keep in mind though.
What's that?
You have a very delicate palate, and that's no jab. That's no. You don't even like bourbons over 100 proof.
Not too much. Not too much. But I've had them, and I can
No. You do drink them, but that's not your bourbon of choice.
It's not my bag. It ain't my bag.
Me, I like bourbons over 100. I look for that. So that's where, that's why you get the choice. We normally have a panel up here, but me and Phil, it's my guy. Love him to death. Mm-hmm. My man says a 2.5. I'ma say a 3. You be the judge. So ladies and gentlemen, listen here. And party. If you don't encourage anyone to drink bourbon, then you're discouraging them from the finer things in life. And with that being said, we are men on bourbon.
We are men on bourbon.
Have a nice evening.
God bless you.
Cheers, sir, Philip.
God bless you. And
And good night.
And good night.
Peace, y'all. We out.